Hello, Cowboys Nation. Wow, I I'm speechless. I I'm absolutely speechless. I have no words on how to describe just what I saw, other than first off, give San Francisco all credit. They did what they needed to do to win the game today. That's plain and simple. They played better defense. Um, did really well with just rushing the front four, even without their two defensive ends for the second half. Um, uh, you know, offense. They ran the ball against us. Ran it very well. Um, we just, I don't know. I don't know what to. I don't know what to think about this. Other than this was for the kind of season the Cowboys put together. This was a disappointing year. This was a really disappointing year. Um, it's like we get off to the great 6-1 start, and then just everything goes downhill. We lose 3 out of the 4 games to the AFC West opponents with Denver, Kansas City, Las Vegas at home. Just and then the penalties. Once again, every game, our penalties easily controllable penalties. For the pre-snap penalties to the Connor Williams holding, to hands in the face, defensive holding, just like it's like all logic was just thrown out today. Dak was subpar at best. There were some good throws that he made during the game. But I mean, you can't play your whole career being down in the first half and not doing anything, and then rely on getting wins with the comeback wins. You can't play football like that. If you're gonna be a team that's gonna aspire to go to a Super Bowl, you got to come out ahead and you got to come out the gate fast. And we just didn't do that. I mean, they ran the ball and scored. I mean, they imposed their will on us first drive to go up 7-0. And then we immediately go 3 and out, and then they go up 10-0. Turned out to be 10-0 at the end of the first quarter, and it's just like what else can you do? There's really nothing else you could do. But yeah, I want to officially welcome you. I forgot to do this right at the beginning. Just all the emotions running through my mind. Just everything I'm feeling. Welcome to the Adam Smasher Show, where it is local sports talk for Cowboys, Dallas Stars, Dallas Mavericks, Texas Rangers, throwing some Formula One racing in there whenever the season kicks back underway. But yeah, Cowboys lost today 23-17 to the San Francisco 49ers. So the 49ers will move on to play the Green Bay Packers. And then whoever wins tomorrow night's game with Arizona and LA Rams, they will go on to play Tampa Bay. So, I mean, when you look at San Francisco, they're in a they're a good match. They're a good matchup to go up against the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay. They can run the ball, and they've got a solid defense. Hopefully, their pass rushers, their edge rushers, will be able to come back for next week's game. But talking about the Cowboys, I mean, there's really nothing else. There's nothing else you can say, nothing else you can do, other than we didn't come out to play. We committed too many penalties. Dak had too many misreads, bad throws. Our receivers weren't getting open. We were just our offensive line. Oh, don't get me started. Our offensive line is in shambles. Is probably one of our weakest links on this football team is our offensive line. Tyron Smith was getting rolled over the whole game. Connor Williams holding calls against him again. We gotta take a hard look at this football team and just figure out exactly where we want to take these guys for the upcoming seasons. What do you do in this upcoming draft? Or do we need to look towards free agency? Hopefully in the next week I'll kind of take a look and see at the end of the season kind of who's going to be available in free agency, who are trade options that are available for the Cowboys to take. We got a big turnover from Anthony Brown that set up the Cowboys touchdown, which basically opened up the door to get us right back in the game. As far as the referee situation at the end of the game, Dak and the offensive line, they weren't paying attention to the fact that the referee has to get in there to spot the ball before they can snap it. He has to spot it. So I mean, that wasn't the referee's fault. I know a lot of people will say in the rush of the moment, I was like, what just happened? Why'd the referee do that? But the referee has to spot the ball, and so that's on Dak Prescott and the offensive line to know that situation, and know exactly what they need to do to get out of the way, and very quickly get out of the way and let the referee spot the ball, so that way they can spike it and get one more play in. But they didn't. It was a gutsy play call, whether it's by Kellen Moore or whether it's by Dak. It was a gutsy play call that just backfired. And so when you look at our play calling, speaking of our play calling, when you look at our play calling on offense, you look at the other side. You look at Kyle Shanahan, who knows his best weapon is Deebo Samuel. When he gets the ball in his hand, he's going places. He had an incredible game today. And for the Cowboys, I'm getting ahead of myself. Going back to San Francisco real quick and Deebo Samuel. You'll see Kyle Shanahan use Deebo Samuel in the tailback position, playing running back. Because you get the ball in his hands, potentially something miraculous is going to happen with Deebo Samuel, like the big 3rd and 10 run towards the end of the game. What a great play call by Kyle Shanahan. And Kellen Moore, he's done this a few times during the season where he's put CeeDee Lamb in the backfield. Because I think we can agree that probably our two best playmakers with the ball in their hand is CeeDee Lamb and Tony Pollard. Once they get the ball in their hand, it's the potential to have a big play touchdown is there every time. Every time it's there. Zeke, he doesn't have that potential to break for anything big anymore. It's grind, like maybe get 3 yards here, 4 yards here. which that's all well and good. If you think like maybe fourth quarter type situation, um, where you need to run the ball and you need to chew clock. Very similar to what Marion Barber did for us back in the 2007 2008 seasons, where we had Julius Jones as the main running back, and then Marion Barber would come in the fourth quarter and finish it off. Other than that, so I mean, it really brings me to question why like it really brings me to question Kellen Moore as to why was he not utilizing CeeDee Lamb in every possible way he could to get. I think with Tony Pollard, I think he was still fighting whatever injury he's been struggling with in his foot, and that happens. It's tough, but that happens. But as far as CD, you got every opportunity to get CD involved in the game and even put him in the running back position, but we don't. I don't know if it's because Kellen Moore like forgets he can use CD. I don't know. So, I mean, I guess what I'm hoping for is that Kellen Moore, that he'll be able to get an offer for a head coaching gig. If I was to make any prediction as to where Kellen Moore could really do some good as a head coach, I would say the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Vikings are primed and ready for somebody like Kellen Moore to step in. Other than that, it's a tough situation. It's a tough situation to where you look at your team, you look at the Cowboys, and it's like, how do we get better? It's a tough loss. Year after year after year, penalties. This has been the Cowboys story for almost 2 decades. Penalties. We have always been one of the most penalized teams in the NFL, and I think unfortunately that's the one mystery I am never going to be able to solve. I would love to say it's Jerry Jones, that we're not pushing our guys. We're not pushing hard enough to coach discipline and penalties. Because I mean, pre-snap penalties, completely 100% preventable, absolutely preventable. It just everything was just off. Everything was off from the get-go, from the first snap. Defense couldn't set the tone on that starting drive, and the offense just absolutely got obliterated on the first drive to go 3 and out. So I mean, San Francisco, they came out and they played like they wanted this. It was gonna come like with a team like San Francisco and a team like Dallas. It was gonna come down as to who wanted this, and who was going to execute the best. It wasn't perfect for San Francisco either. Had their moments, penalties, all that stuff, and like even on the final drive, they were allowing all those 10-yard, 15-yard passes to Schultz and other players getting out of bounds on the sidelines. I mean, just that's basically just kind of what you're looking at. It's like both teams weren't perfect when they played today, but it really just comes down as to who is going to execute better, and San Francisco executed better. It was really tough. It was really, 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 really difficult for me as a longtime Dallas Cowboy fan to watch that game today. This was a disappointing season. You go 12-5 on your regular season. That should be a season that gets you to at least the divisional round. To maybe even have a remote chance of playing for the NFC Championship game. But I don't know. It's like whenever it comes down to playing against the playoff teams, against the playoff caliber teams, we always come up short. Just it's hard. It's a really hard situation. This is basically just like my fresh post game reaction. I'll come out with another stream, another video tomorrow, with a more just statistic detailed look as to kind of how everybody performed. Other than that, just it's rough, But that's football. That's sports. Sometimes you just gotta say, oh well, it's tough. Just gotta get past it, work through it, and move on to the next one, and see what we can do to improve this team to get better. I'm hoping that we take a hard look at our offensive line this offseason. It's past time. It's past time we take a hard look, whether we need to get a new coach, whether we need to draft offensive line because we need help, or whether we need to go after free agents in the offensive line, we need help. So, other than that, tough one today. Final score of 23-17 over San Francisco. I've got a couple of NFL teams that I'll be pulling for the rest of these playoffs: Kansas City Chiefs and Arizona Cardinals, with Patrick Mahomes and Cliff Kingsbury out of Texas Tech. I'll be rooting for those guys, and hopefully this playoffs continues to turn out to be interesting. So anyway, thank y'all for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you liked this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Hit that like button, and if you're a subscriber, don't forget to ring that bell. Turn that bell on to get notified for future videos coming up. So, alrighty, guys. Thank y'all for joining.